Hey, what is up, team? Hopefully you are having an amazing Monday, and hopefully this video finds you well. Now, I'm sharing this with you for three main reasons, and I'll wait to get into it until people kind of start going in here, so I'm going to pause just a smidge. But I'm sharing this with you for three big old reasons. Okay, one is that I want you to get amazing results. I don't want you to feel bad about eating foods you enjoy during holidays. That's the first one. Second one is that I think there's this weird misconception around not being able to eat foods you like and gaining 0 pounds of fat, right? You can totally have both. It might not be what everyone else is doing, but I'll show you what everyone else is doing and I'll ask you, would you like to have this? And the answer is probably no. And the reality is they just don't know either. Okay. So in this training, we're going to cover a couple things. First thing, we're going to cover the what most people are doing. Okay. The damage that's actually being done from now until the end of the year and on Thanksgiving Day, so that you can get an idea of why I'm even saying this, right? Why is it that I've been saying, hey, right now is the best time to join a weight loss program? Right now is, not tomorrow. Like right now is the best time. First thing. Second thing is we're going to go over the how or the why. Okay. So we went over, I guess, the why and what we're doing, but how we're actually going to pull it off. Okay. And then at the end of it, I'll tell you what you could do, the exact steps to get the results you're looking for. Make sense? So we're going to go over the why it's important, what other people are doing, and how we're actually going to pull it off. Sweet. That was much more eloquently spoken. That being said, let's dive into it. So right now, when we're looking at this thing, let me make this a little bit bigger. Let me scooch over. Okay. So I'm just using these numbers as just a general rule, easy peasy rule of thumb. Okay. Don't worry about a lot of the stuff in here. This is for another training. I'm just using this for you guys for right now. Let's say you have 50 pounds you want to lose, 52 pounds to lose, and you want to do it in a year. Admirable goal. Some people are like, I want to use it faster than that. I get it. We'll go into, I won't cover that in this video. I've done plenty of videos as to why most people can't lose weight faster than that, nor would I want them to. Or lose fat faster than that. See, I'm even getting it confused myself. Lose fat faster than that. Why you wouldn't want to do that. But let's just stick with these numbers here. Okay. And either way, when was the last time you're 52 pounds down from where you were right now? A long time ago. Would you love that in a year? Yes, because most people don't ever lose that in a year, just in general. Okay. So every day, if you ate at this calorie deficit, 499, which is 500 calories, you'll lose 52 pounds in a year of fat every time. Not once in a while, every single time you'll do that. It's really cool. Like the math is out on it. Here's the reality though, is that the average American eats 3750 calories on Thanksgiving, 1 day a week. And that is over what they burn, right? And so if it's a lady, I've got the numbers here, it's 1998. That's how many calories that a woman on average will overeat on 1 day. How many days would it add, I should say, how many days would it add to their weight loss journey to reach the same 52 pounds? Let's see, just on 1 day, 5 extra days. So you might be like, not a big deal. It's 5 extra days. And I would say, cool. Then stop the video now and just go on with life. Here's the reality though. Most people don't just stop there. Most people eat on average an extra 1,000 calories over what they burn every day from now to the end of the year, which makes it them gain 12 pounds, between 6 and 12 pounds at the end of the year. It's pretty crazy. So if you did that on top of Thanksgiving, where you're adding 5 more days, it's actually taking almost half of a year, actually over half a year, to not only lose the holiday weight gain, but lose the holiday weight gain and your excessive overeating on Thanksgiving, like most people do. And that's the low end of average, okay? The average is, I should say, it's right smack in the double, right smack dab in the middle. The average goes up to 4,500. By the way, that's average. So that means some people eat more than that. And it's easy to do that. A lot of the stuff on Thanksgiving's ton of calories, tons of fat, tons of sugar. So there's a lot of calories packed into a small space. So you can eat a lot of it and not really feel full. That is the damaging part. That's the scary part. And that's when it comes to like all of us trying to lose weight and stuff. It's kind of like, oh, but Chris, like I don't eat poorly. And on that day, hey, I'm just going to go and I'm just going to have eat good. I'm just going to go in and eat good. That would kind of like be like me saying, okay, eating good is like you trying to find me in the county that I live in. I live in Maricopa County in Arizona, okay? So from this point, Gila Bend, because I've never even heard of these places. Sorry if you live there, okay? Midway, I've heard of Midway, okay? But from Gila Bend all the way to Black Canyon City, it's 105 miles long. 105, okay? If I were to say I'm eating good, that's kind of like saying find me in Maricopa County. Good has so many different meanings. And I'm going to eat the best I can. So many different meanings. They just really don't make any sense because your definition and my definition are completely different. But we want to have objective definitions. We want to have it to where we go, cool, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm doing. But maybe you're just a little bit tired of that. Like, well, I'm gonna eat half of the portions of stuff. Oh, cool. You're gonna eat half the portions of meat too, and half the portions of vegetables. So the thing you're cutting out some of, which is good, you're still doing something. But the stuff you're also cutting out is stuff that's gonna keep you feeling full, the protein and the vegetables. And you're not gonna cut half, or you're cutting half of the calories from carbohydrates. Yes, but that's the bulk of your calories for the day. Probably not the best move. That's kind of like saying, find me in Mesa. Okay, I live in Mesa. Okay, Mesa, Arizona, from Mesa Grande to Eastmark. Okay, and that's not even the farthest parts. I could have picked like the very, very tip here, all the way down to the Phoenix Mesa Gateway. Okay, but from there to there is 23 miles across. You still can't find me. It's not really that good. What we would rather have is, hey, I am at this Walmart here on Greenfield and Baseline. When I say that I'm there, you can go, oh, I can get there because I could take the 101 south, or this is the 87. Oops, the 101's over this way. The 87 south, which is Country Club. I can go all the way over here to Greenfield. Bam, I can find you. And then I can search the Walmart and likely get close to you. We want to get in the neighborhood of what we're actually doing, because the closer we get to what we're actually are, the pinpoint, the better. Why am I telling you this? Because likely you're not going to be bringing any food scale with you to Thanksgiving, right? You're probably not going to do that. Now, you could if you wanted to, and you absolutely could. But I can tell you this, in my long years of doing this, the only person that I've known to do that is me, okay? When I'm trying to lose weight. So the likelihood that some people are doing that, hey, it's probably not very likely. And so we want to, though, maybe not go so intense as to just say, I'm not going to eat any pumpkin pie. I'm going to hit all my targets. Nothing's going to be different. We also don't want to go way over here to where we're eating so much food in such excess that it takes half of a year just to lose 6 weeks worth of not giving an F. Right? Because crazy thing is it's going to happen again next year. So you're going to go half a year trying to lose fat, if you can even sustain it, if you can stick with it for 6 months to just gain it back again in 6 weeks at the end of the year. I mean, that's a life that's driven by consistent different lifestyles and clothes and mentalities and habits and things. Oh, I don't know if I would like that. I wonder if there's another way. I wonder if there's a way we can have a mix of both, where you can have food you enjoy, but also be able to eat, be able to not gain any fat. Because if we go back to our handy dandy fat loss math problem here, what if instead of eating 1,000 calories in excess 42 days a year, what if on those ones we just ate the amount of calories that we burn? What if we did that? And what if it was on Thanksgiving and every party, let's say every single week you have a party you're going to? That adds 7 days versus, let's say again, you're burning the extra We'll split the difference for both of them, 1,600. You see how now it takes a month. What if you did that instead? Wouldn't that be so much better? Because we didn't even include Christmas and Christmas Eve, right? And New Year's Eve, right? All of those 10 days versus on those days, if you ate even kind of how you would eat on Thanksgiving, takes 6 weeks of consistent, hard work just to get back to where you were before. I don't know about you. Something I don't think I would want. So how do we do it? First thing is we need to go over how fat loss works in a nutshell. Fat loss has 5 components to it. First one, let me zoom in this a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. I'm using 2 different screens here. First one is BMR. BMR stands for basal metabolic rate. This is the amount of calories that you burn every single day doing nothing. The average woman is around 1,400 calories. The average man is around 1,700 calories a day. The difference is twofold. One, the average man weighs more, has more muscle, and is taller than the average woman. So they burn more calories. Cool? Cool. Now, if you and a man are the same height, have the same muscle mass, and weigh the same, you will burn the same amount of calories. How cool is that? There's people in this program that burn more calories than I do at rest because they're heavier than me and they have more muscle than I do. Okay. Next, steps. Steps is a way to measure your activity. You can be busy, but are you active? Okay. Right now, I am moving around at work. I'm being more active than if you're watching this sitting down, right? If your job consists of you, or if your day consists of you waking up, sitting to eat breakfast, sitting in traffic, sitting at a desk, sitting at lunch, sitting in traffic, sitting at dinner, going to bed, your steps are relatively low. The only time you're ever getting up for steps is for water, food, getting into your car, or going to the bathroom. Versus, I'm moving when I'm walking and I'm talking and I'm doing my work. Whenever I have a phone call, I have headphones in and I'm taking notes. I'm walking around, okay? That's a way to get more steps. But anyway, average American walks 3,000 steps per day. Likely that day you're not walking much more than that. In fact, you might even be walking less than that. Thermic effect of food comes from your consumption of food. Okay, the amount of food you eat correlates to how much calories you burn, breaking that food down. Okay, so the more food you eat, the higher the calorie burn. Now, is there any food that you burn more than what you digest? No, they break all the rules of thermodynamics, all the laws of thermodynamics. So unfortunately, not possible. So celery, spinach, lettuce, all these sorts of things, not true. Okay. Now, last one, fitness. Likely that day you're not going to work out. Okay. Now, if you are going to work out, bonus points to you. Okay. Bonus points. And we got some built in the program where we go over how we can eat a little bit more food on that day when we do certain workouts. Pretty sweet. Okay. That's for people in the program. So these are the numbers. So I just took those numbers. Average person. Men burn around 2,000 calories. Women are around 1,750. Okay. So I took those. And then we go, all right, what's the goal again? Our goal is to eat what you burn. Calorie differences. I'm going to eat exactly how much I burn for that day, or as close as possible. Again, we're not necessarily going to get pin drop right on top as if we were going to say, I'm at this exact address, because you're likely not going to be bringing a food scale. You're likely not going to know how things were prepared unless you prepare it. You're not going to know, okay, every single thing about everything that you eat. But if you're in the freaking neighborhood, we have a much better chance of you doing better than not doing good, okay? And it would be very, very tough, following what I'm about to share with you, to overeat by so much that it's going to take more than 6 hours the next day while you're sleeping for you to burn the extra calories that you may have accidentally not accounted for because you're not going to bring a food scale. You don't know if things are prepared. You see what I'm saying? Cool? Okay. So here's what it looks like. Here's how you eat your pumpkin pie and gain 0 pounds of fat. How cool is that? So for the ladies, check it out. In the morning, in the beginning of the day, you're going to prioritize protein and not eat a lot of calories. Notice, calories for the ladies. Oh gosh. Let me go back here. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. See, how's that? That's better. I can deal with that. Okay. So notice, beginning of the day, not a lot of calories, a bunch of protein, a little bit of carbohydrates because Greek yogurt, banana, and this would, I mean, without a banana, it would be kind of crappy. So you could if you wanted to, though. Okay. So check this out. 382 calories, 42 grams of protein. Second meal. This could be either before or after Thanksgiving. Either one, but this is what you'd eat afterwards. You're going to eat 150 grams of chicken breast and 150 grams of salad mix. If you're like, I don't know what 150 grams is, get a scale. These ones, because you're not going to be around other people, you can measure. You can weigh them. Put it on a food scale so you know exactly what you're doing. Okay. Again, when it comes to us losing fat, how that fat loss math problem works is the more clear you are, the more precise you are, the better the equation works. If you are not precise, you're not going to get that outcome. It's like if I got a rifle and I'm shooting a rifle, okay, if my scope isn't sighted in and I'm aiming bullseye on my scope, it's not the rifle's fault that I'm missing way to the right. It's my fault that I'm not getting my scope sighted in properly to my target. It's not that my rifle's different than every other one, right? You are no different from me or all of them or people in the program now. It's likely that your rifle is just sighted incorrectly if you're not tracking, being precise with what you're eating. Okay? Okay. Keeping it moving. So you do those two things. Giant salad, bunch of chicken. And a bunch is relative, right? 150 grams is like the size of my palm height, width, and depth, and like another half of a palm. It's not that much. Okay? And then you eat 200 grams of turkey breast. Don't worry. You're like, but I'm not going to bring a scale. I got you. Hold your butt for a second. 250 grams of mashed potatoes. A lot of food. 85 grams. This is, by the way, of dry stuffing. Stuffing gets like 4 times as heavy. So like it's a lot of food. Trust me. 150 grams of green bean casserole, let's say, and 1 slice of pumpkin pie. Now, when this is green, that means, A, you did it. You did it. You got your calories within your normal range. Your protein. You need to have protein. We're not going to cover that today, but protein's good. Okay. Don't worry about these numbers. They're fine. Okay. So look at this. All of that food. For the dudes, here's what you get. Same thing as the ladies, but we're adding a little bit of peanut butter. Same exact salad. And you just get to eat more food on this day. You get to eat about 25% more there, 25% more there, like 20% more here. The numbers I think are right off the top of my head. I'm not quite sure. Okay. Turkey. And then again, another slice of pie. Roughly 2,000 calories, 160 grams of protein. Pretty solid day there. Okay. Now you might be like, well, Chris, I don't know how to measure my stuff. I'm not going to bring a scale. And not because you can't, let's be clear, because you choose not to, which is fine, because most people choose not to. Most people wouldn't go up and down the stairs for an hour with a 40-pound weight vest either. I choose to. It's not that people can't, they just don't, right? And so with it, we get to go, okay, cool. What can we do? What's our next best option? Next best option is to use your mitts, right? I already gave it away as far as how you can do that. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to go with turkey, and this is like turkey breast, ideally mostly white meat, okay, is you have 1 palm height, width, and depth is roughly 100 grams. So if you're somebody that needs to eat 200 grams, you eat 2 palms of turkey, right? Mashed potatoes, 1 fist is roughly 200 grams. So for the ladies, if you're like, I need 250, do like a fist and like a knuckle. Boom. Stuffing, 1 fist is 50 grams dry. So for the ladies, you guys have 84 grams because it's 28 per serving, so it's kind of funky. But like you do like a fist and a half of stuffing. Do you see now how your plate's going to be so huge? You can be like, holy shit, how am I going to eat all this food? Green bean casserole, one fist is 200 grams, right? Now there's some stuff I don't know, right? I don't know, but let me give you an idea of how to find it. You look up what 100 grams is of something, of food, and see if you can find a picture. Okay, if it's or one palm of something. So if you look at your meat, typically most meat, not all of them, obviously, okay, but most meat is roughly from height, width, and depth of your palm is roughly 100 grams. So if we're talking turkey, ham, chicken, beef, all of that roughly 100 grams. Fist is a cup. So if you were to look up like what's a cup of, I don't know, what's something else people would eat on that day? Yams. I don't know if you eat a cup of yams. I don't know. Okay, but let's say you did. You're like, cool, I need to look up what 1 cup of yams is. Bam. Look at the nutrition facts. Swap it in your thing. Go in there with a plan, because otherwise, here's what's going to happen is you're going to start you're going to start zooming out. Instead of being here, you're like, well, at least I did okay. I didn't go for seconds or thirds like I do typically. And then you're going to run into the problem of overeating by a lot, feeling shame and regret for doing so, when the holiday is literally a holiday. I don't know if you know this. The holiday is literally a holiday of being thankful. And if you're doing this holiday of being thankful, but in doing so, when you do this from now to the end of the year, let's take off all of these. And let's say people really don't give a crap. This year's not giving a crap takes over a year to get rid of. But people do that every single year. Every single year. And so if I were to tell you, hey, don't care about what you eat from now to the end of the year, you can always start later. What I'm basically saying is, hey, I want you to work as hard as you can for about, I don't know, 10 and a half months or so. And then the last one, just blow it all away to where you gain 30 pounds, basically. Or you could have lost 30 more pounds. And just keep doing that over and over and over again. Cool? You would freaking hate it. That would suck. So go in there with a plan. Get tight. If you have any questions, please let me know. Otherwise, team, I will talk to you soon. Have a great day. If you found this valuable, please do some stuff down below, like, comment, all these things. It really, really does help get this pushed out to more people, because I hate having the conversation, and now I'll have it, right? As a guy who wants to help people lose weight, I'll have weight loss conversations. But I hate having the conversation of, I gained a ton of weight the last 6 weeks. I put on 10 pounds. I'm like, shit, that's going to be an extra 3 months time of fat. If it's fat, that's going to take about 3 months to get rid of, 2.5 months. It's a long time. And it stinks for 6 weeks worth of time. With that being said, have a freaking great day. Kick some butt, take some names. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.